here to stay. Let me explain it to you. I used to have someone that meant the whole world to me, but she left me for someone else. Left my heart in misery. That's when I found out the blues would always be a part of me. Let me tell you this. You see, when she left me, she gave me the blues. That was the last thing I thought I could use. But now I'm glad she helped me. I'm glad she gave me the blues. You see, I went out and found me. I went out and found me someone new. That's why I can say this tonight. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. It's alright. It's alright. Every day and night. Let's testify something again, y'all. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. 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 It's alright. It's alright. Every day and night. I'm gonna play it for you now. She left me. I'm glad she gave me the blues. You see, I'm grateful to the blues. It was the blues that brought me to you. Yeah. You see, she never given me the blues. I never would have found someone sweet like you. That's why I can say it, y'all. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. It's alright. It's alright. Every day and night. I just gotta say it again. Y'all help me testify. Hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. It's alright. It's alright. Every day and night. Do it again. Say it. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. You can. Hey, hey, the blues is alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, this is Uncle Funky Larry Jones. And it's now time for the Poppa C Blues and Southern Soul Show with your host, DJ Poppa C.
That's right. Good evening. Happy Monday. Thank you all once again for joining our Blues and Southern Soul Show. I'm always excited when I sit down here in my studio and I see those names popping up on the screen. Especially you, Lady Audrey. You always make me smile, and Sister Calloway. Finally, Regina checking in all the way from Alabama. And Mo City Dawn checking in. Hey, Mo City, what's up, Mo? Appreciate y'all joining the show. Happy Monday. Something about, I don't care what type of week I have, how busy I am, where I've DJ'd at, how many horses I've ridden, and how many fires I put out, how many patients I had back in the ambulance, how many times folks call 911 and I've seen, but something about Mondays when I come in here and I get ready for my show, probably about sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours before the show, I get to make my banners and call in all the guests that's coming on the show. I get excited because I get to hang out with y'all a little bit. And Lady Audrey, I just can't thank you enough. You know, Sister Calloway, y'all been hanging for me from day one. Terry Mack, what's going on, Terry Mack? Y'all been hanging with me from day one. And I'm so appreciative. I don't take it lightly. We sometimes we at the end of the night, y'all can't see the numbers on y'all side, but we on three different platforms, and sometimes we get up to 1,000 people that join the show, and so since we went to YouTube, well, YouTube is all over the nation, so we get a lot of comments, and a lot of folks from all over, from Ohio, Nebraska, to Texas, Louisiana, the Hayward, South Park, Bel Air, Nebraska, you know, even from Austin. I'm thinking one day Donald Trump gonna comment on it because you see all the posts I put on my page. He don't like me. He probably deport me. He probably send ICE to my house or something. But that's a different story for a different day with that man. So a lot of my coworkers, I'm at odds at work because I'm Aquarius and I'm a Democrat through and through from four corners. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I had a busy Monday. Regina, thank you for joining. Regina, if y'all ever get the opportunity, I tune into her show. Regina's on every day, and she plays music. She has she's on Facebook throughout the day, and she even comes on. I want to say Sundays and Monday. Regina, she comes on. She have a gospel hour, but she's R&B, Southern soul. She's all over the place, but she's on the show a while back. One of the prettiest smiles in the nation. I don't know between her and Lady Audrey. I don't know. They go neck and neck with that smile. But thank y'all for joining me. I'm excited because we have a wonderful lineup tonight. We have a variety of guests, from politicians to musical artists to comedians to what's up, Terry Mack? Hey, Mimi. Oh, Mimi told me to remember to say happy birthday to my granddaughter Paris. So you tell Paris Papa shouted her out on the show. And happy birthday. I got to call her, and I know she want me cash app or something. Don't even ask. You know what's coming. But anyways, I had a extremely busy weekend, from the club to riding my horses to church in the wagons to back to the club. And I get opportunity on Mondays to sleep late and catch my breath. And that's what I do. I don't move around till about noontime. They say when we get older, same thing we used to whine about when we were younger as a child, eating your vegetables and taking a nap. And you get older, you like taking a nap and eating your vegetables. You feel better, like pretty say. Yeah, but anyways, we have a wonderful, wonderful lineup. I have to give my condolences to one of the legendary trail ride DJs, Lady D. Myself and Uncle Frank Larry Jones, we spoke with her uh, at the radio station Saturday. She lost her grandson to some violence, and next week I have a young man who made a serious crime. He turned his life around, and he's gonna come on the show. He's a police officer now, and so crime is big in the cities, especially with our youngsters. And you know, um, I don't know if we have an answer because every day you turn the TV on, you see violence. I've been on the ambulance since 1987. I work with the city, retired from the city, and I'm still currently a firefighting paramedic with the county, and I still deal with violence. And I don't need that type of job security. But anyway, hopefully something be said, be done where these young folk, not only young folks, but, you know, hope we can touch them or teach them or talk with them or something. But that was on my mind to say because I spoke with her at KTSU Saturday, myself and Uncle Funky Larry Jones, and gave her our condolences. But anyway, we have a lot of guests tonight, so I can't have a long, long monologue. Um, I'm going to play a song, and after this song, I'm going to bring in a young man who I interviewed his mom, and he's walking in the same footsteps. And when I come back on the other side of the song, I'm going to tell you his name. So y'all just hang out with me. Let's have some fun on a Monday. And once again, thank y'all for taking time out your Monday night, out of your Monday night, to hang out with us. I am so excited. Kool-Aid, what's up, Kool-Aid? Thank you for joining the show. So y'all hang out with me for a minute, and I'm gonna come right back to you. I promise. JT said just slide on for me, y'all. It's our Monday Night Blues and Southern Soul show. Hang out with me, Poppa C.
Everybody, come out and dance. Don't be afraid. Just give yourself a chance. Ain't no secret how to do the steps. Come on, people, and join the band. Oh, smile, yeah. Oh, just smile. You take 2 steps to the left. You take 2 steps to the right. Slide to the back, y'all. And rock it all night. You can't do sitting down in your seat. Come on, people, get up on your feet. Try to people see what you can do. Now you got it, you're doing it too. Oh, and smile. Hey. Then you smile.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sliding y'all time to go on the program. My man Jimmy Hill. Excited, got my brother and one of my preachers at the church, Reverend Ray Jones. I hold him dear to my heart. Brother Ray Jones, I love you, brother. Ain't nothing you can do about it, man. Thank you for joining the show. What's up, Willie? Willie Rain at River Boogie. How you doing? Thank you for joining the show. Well, it's that time, y'all. We'll get into the show. Our first guest is a candidate for District 131, state representative. And I had the pleasure of interviewing his mom about 3 or 4 months ago, and she was a whole bunch of fun, and she had a whole bunch of energy. And if he's anything like her, and I think he will be, it's going to be awesome. So please help me welcome state candidate for state representative 1 District 1, Mr. Lawrence Adams. Good evening, sir.
My brother, how are you? I know how to frame this, brother. DJ Poppa C. Is that how I should refer to you?
That's it right there. DJ Poppa C, you got it.
All right, Poppa C, DJ Poppa C. First of all, let me thank you for allowing me to come on your show tonight and be in front of your audience. And I'm looking forward to this conversation with you tonight.
Hey, man, the pleasure is all mine. Trust me, it is. Because, believe it or not, I've been working on this for a minute with me and Dr. Allen. If y'all not familiar, Dr. Alma Allen is Lawrence Adams' mother. And she's been in office a long, long time.
21 years in the legislature and 12 years on the State Board of Education as an elected official in the city of Houston. 33 years combined. Mm-hmm.
That's an awesome legacy, man. But let me say thank you for taking time out your Monday night to hang out with us. And since we have you, you tell us something about Mr. Lawrence Allen.
Before I speak about myself, let me thank you for your service. And as you are assisting our citizens who are in dire needs, as a firefighter, a retired firefighter and EMT person, as you spoke earlier about all of the incidents that occur that you wish didn't occur, especially in our community. And so I want to thank you for what you have done and continue to do to provide a service to our community that most of us probably don't fully understand the magnitude of that work. And so I just wanted to lead out with that tonight to acknowledge you and say to you that I am your brother, Lawrence A. Allen Jr. I am a candidate for Texas House District 131, the district that now my mother sits in that seat and has been there for 21 years. I will probably give you a very similar resume because my mother has been my mentor of life for my entire life. I served in the Houston Independent School District for 36 years before I retired, teacher, assistant principal, central office administrator, and currently I still substitute and test students from time to time. So I've been walking around the Houston Independent School District for a long time. When my mother left the State Board of Education and moved over to the Capitol to be a legislator, I took her seat on the State Board of Education. And I served there for 18 years, elected and reelected 6 times. And history would say now that I'm the longest serving African American in the history of Texas on the State Board of Education, and did a lot of fine work. And so, as I said, I have a lot that I would like to do. The shoes that I must fill are big shoes. But I tell you what, I've got the feet to get it done.
First time I ever heard that one, but okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, for me to ask you, what was your motivation is kind of a redundant question because, you followed in the footsteps of Dr. Allen and almost directly in the footsteps as an educator because she's a teacher also. And, she's in public service. So I think it's awesome. When I started the show, we'll be going in a year in April. And we make leaps and bounds. But one reason I started the show, I've said this before, is because after the election, I was disappointed after the presidential election.
Yes, sir.
I was disappointed on how many of us was involved, even care to get motivated. Not necessarily, read up on the candidates for one. To me, it was a no-brainer. But to even get involved, and I actually have the numbers in my desk of how many minorities, speaking of blacks, how many whites, how many, independents.
Okay.
But the highest amount was the people who didn't bother to vote at all.
That's correct.
It was a lot of bloodshed way back when for our forefathers to give us this right. There was a whole lot of marching, a whole lot of blood on the Edmonds Pettus Bridge for this right. Now, I was reading an article at work, and I do a lot of reading at the fire station. Like we get there in the morning time, we kind of unwind, and I sit and I read a lot of social media. I read a lot of politics. But I ran across an article by accident, Carter G. Woodson. And Carter G. Woodson started Black History Week in 1926.
Okay.
I didn't know that. But he did it in February. I'm sure a lot of people don't know this. Gerald Ford in 1976 said, okay, let's just make this Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get a lot of us saying, a lot of black folks saying, well, they gave us Black History Month on the shortest month of the year, which the white man didn't give it to us. Carter G. Woodson started, was a black man who was doing Black History Week. And Gerald Ford gave us Black History Month. And so I bring that point up is that the more we tend to educate ourselves, I think the better people will become because if we educate ourselves and get involved, then I think we get motivated to make better decisions and go to the polls because having went to the polls, I don't think we will be seeing memes of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama on social media.
I think you're exactly right. But let me give you a little stinger with that. One of the things that we will say to young people is that it was way, way, way back then. We fought way, way back then. I recall when I was a little boy, and my mother was teaching school. She had 2 children, but she didn't have the right to vote. This is my mother. She didn't have the right to vote. First time she ever voted was in 1966. She was teaching school, had children, married, but she didn't have the right to vote. So the first time she went to vote, she took me with her so that I could close the curtain and understand the significance of what she was doing. So we realized that we are only 1 to 2 generations in the process and participation. Your mother didn't have the right to vote. She obtained it when she was an adult. So we're not fully invested in the process long enough to fully understand what we're giving up. You, your children, and maybe you have some 18-year-old grandchildren. So that would be 3 generations of your family that have been given the access to the ballot box. So that's not a long time ago. And so we got to realize that what we think is history is always in our current conversation, especially as educators. And as you said there, if people know better, they'll do better.
Yeah.
So as we talked about this, you wanted to hint at it because I know it's itching at you, at the actions of our commander-in-chief, if you would, in this depiction of our first African-American president and his wife. We all discussed it. But I could recall our former first lady saying, when they go low, we go high.
Yes.
We understand ignorance when we see it. Now, we all upset about it, but we understand ignorance when they see it. But what our grandparents told us, when somebody shows you who they are, believe it and act accordingly. And so that's who we are today. And that's why we are seeking to be in spaces where we can address inappropriateness all over the place. That's just one. It's everywhere. And if we're not in the room, then it's going to continue to be a travesty. And when you're comfortable to be in the Oval Office acting the way you do, it is a total disrespect all the way down to the man at the bottom of the totem pole, because he's telling you, I don't ever intend for you to get up.
Well, Lawrence, I think it's an atrocity for one, because, you sit in the highest seat, and at the same time, I think I kind of expected it. If I have a bad addiction when I go to work, when I'm sitting at the fire station, even at home. On my phone, I have an app called Smart News. And I read it daily, and sitting at work, when we killing time, waiting on that alarm to go off, I'm reading. But one thing that I do, if I'm reading politics, I'm reading entertainment, reading sports, on YouTube, you can scroll down, and what I like to do is get in the brains of other folks and see how they think. And sometimes, whether it be bots or actual people, man, I say, man, we in a world of hurt, and it bothers me because, like yourself, if you look at the last election with Amanda Edwards
And Menifee? Yes.
Early voter turnout was terrible in this city.
Correct.
Terrible. And I was thinking in my mind that this guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has waking a whole lot of people up with some of the negative things he's done. I'm thinking they'd be running to the polls, just willing to get involved. And so in my mind, I'm always saying, what will it take for us to get involved, stay involved, be involved? And the best thing I can do here is bring people like yourself on who's make a big impact, and hopefully start a conversation where somebody, start thinking, I want to be involved.
Well, DJ Poppa C, let me alpha up a little something, if you don't mind. The way we have structured our family units today in terms of how our society and the economics in our community, people are on the wheel like a hamster. They run in life like a hamster. Let's look at the African-American family. 80% of our African-American families now are headed by a single parent, primarily the mother. So where's the absenteeism of the leadership and the understanding of the guidance of young people when it pertains to the father? And what a father would do in this case, we are on that wheel where we don't see the importance of participating in the political process. We're fatigued in life itself. We are traumatized from the many years of disappointment, hurt, and all of the things that go along with it. So we're not focused on the advancement of the society. We're just trying to survive in the society. And so survival will never let you be a visionary. You won't see a better day just trying to make it to the day. So we've got to take our position, brothers like yourself, brothers like myself, and we have to work on behalf of the people because they're tied to life itself. Tied too. So we're not going to have a movement until people get in their rightful place. One of the things we have to realize is that leadership is important. Yeah. Leadership is important. And until the right persons are in spaces to lead, then there will be no motion. There will be. And that's why everything we talked about tonight is not accidental. It's by design. There are people who move on our community through strategic strategies to soften, to keep our community illiterate, and to do many things so that we can perceive that we're doing it to ourselves. We are not our own. We are not our teacher. Somebody else is teaching us and also giving us our values. And so we have to realize that we have to put ourselves in the right position. And that's why Lawrence Allen wants to make sure that he is succeeding his mother in the legislature, because I know the work she's done and I know what she has charged me to do all of my life. My mother would not ask me to go and do what she did. She would demand that I go and do better. And that means I have a charge and an accountability and a responsibility to my community to not only represent them in Austin, but be a motivating factor. And what most people don't want to do is also be that person that young people can look up to morally, mentally, spiritually, and say, if nothing else, I can be like Poppa C, DJ Poppa C. If nothing else, I can be like Lawrence Allen, because we have to put great examples of men who follow spiritual guidance and understanding. If you see, I'm not going to put a title of religion on it, but men who realize that there is a place for them in the community where others, they have to shine. You have to shine your light. Yes, young people, I was a principal of a high school. And because I was at Jones High School, I didn't get to be the principal of the 1,500 children. I was their father. And so the issues that I was dealing with was not whether we were going to pass the test. It was, I had to go down there to the jailhouse and get the children out of jail. The mamas would call me when the lights was out, paying light bills and everything else, because we have a travesty and an affront and attack on our community in ways that we don't fully understand. And you well know, because I was over in South Park, when we deposit individuals from Huntsville back into society, we put them in zip code 51, zip code 47, and we create an ecosystem or ecosystem of activity in a particular community. And now I'm the principal of that community. And so I'm going to get the remnants of all of that activity coming in. So I fully understand how systematic things work. Now, let me say this to you, and then I'm going to bring you in. Now, you might ask me, what do you plan to do when you get to Austin? I'm an educator by trade, right? But I'm not talking about just reading, writing, and spelling. We have to protect the public school system. Why? What is the largest employer in Houston? The Houston Independent School District. It's not just about reading and writing. In our community, we are the ones in the kitchen. We are the ones driving the buses. We are the ones cutting the. We are the one. The system itself is how we have been able to get through so far. We understand that self-improvement is the basis to community development. So all of our children do need to be in the classroom, but we eat off of the educational system. Now, if HISD is the largest employer in the city of Houston, what happens when we underfund HISD? Our community gets hit because that's where we work for the most part, right? And now we're talking about Alief, Aldine, Pasadena, all the school districts. So when school districts are underfunded, it's not just about the reading and writing and spelling, it's the degradation and the destruction of a community that survives off the public school systems. You know somebody, and I know, who worked in the kitchen. You know somebody, and I know, who's an officer on the campus. You know that school, somebody, those resources in that particular school go right back in the community to the community store and everything else. So when we lose our public schools, when our schools close, when our school districts are shut down, our communities are shut down. So we have to protect our public school system for our communities. And we've only been in the systems thoroughly for a little over 65 years.
Yeah. Well, you hit on something to me that's very important. I mean, education is a foundation. It really is. First of all, you know, to me personally, and I don't want to insult anybody's religion, but we had our brotherhood meeting. We have it every second Saturday of the month at church. And Reverend Ray Jones is online today, but we always speak about the foundation, having a good foundation. And that if that foundation is rattled and shaken, then you know you get lost before you start. You know, my sister, my older sister's been she got a master's from Texas Southern, but she's been a school teacher for over 40 something years.
Come on now, come on.
In HISD.
Yes, sir.
She liked it so much she retired, and then she started going through withdrawals. She came back.
I understand.
And I'm shouting out, she's teacher of the year twice in HISD. Yeah, but she would tell me some of the stories of some of the kids she would deal with that came to school to get that foundation, to get that nourishment, to get that meal, to get that parent. Because, I mean, you hit on something earlier about single parent households. And that's a big epidemic. A lot of times, you know, I get upset. I do, and when I read a lot, wife tell me all the time, she said, you need to detach yourself from these politics. Because, you know, when I read, I can never understand, Lawrence Allen, how come we're not paying attention? How come we're not getting involved? How come we don't care? And when you don't go to the polls, to me, you don't care. You're not reading about Lawrence Allen and what he can bring to the table, you don't care.
Well, I think one of the things that we have to, and I want to just share this with you as an educator and who's been in the buildings just about all of my life. One of the things that we have to do as a people, and we have to have leadership to help us get there, from our pastoral leadership, our educational leadership, is that we have to change the paradigm. We put our 10,000 hours in athletics. We put our focus and work that one day, if we put 10,000 hours of work with this young man, he's going to the NBA. If we put 10,000 hours of work on this young man, he's going to the NFL. If we put 10,000 hours of work and get him over there, he's going to the National Baseball League. You see, we put 10,000 hours, and everything that we really put our focus on, we lead. Everything we put a real focus on, we go to the top.
Yeah.
Because we do not see how things are connected. So we don't really, and they say, yes, we do. We don't really value in the masses of what the outcome of a positive and a strong education can bring. Because it's going to bring you to a place where you've got to apply that information. And we want something quick. I want to get there, get my NIL money now, and go to TSU and ask them for $20,000 at 18 years old. I just want money. So we have to understand the value and what's actually taking place with our students. So what I'm talking about now from the legislature is using the platform at the same time to be in the spaces with everybody in the community, to begin to retrain, to begin to reteach, to be able to motivate, to be a mentor to our young people so they don't get caught in the traps that most of us get caught in. I recall when I was in high school, you can say the same. Before they had testing and all that, they give me 6 coaches on my schedule, and that means there was no expectation for me to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? But get ready for the football game this Friday night. So if I didn't have a mother that I had, I wouldn't have any expectations because the school didn't expect me to do it. They were going to put me in a system that was going to pass me through.
Yeah.
Okay. And so fortunately, God gave me the mother and the father that I have that says, no, sir, there's an expectation in this house of academic achievement. Now, most folks don't know when my mother started her PhD and my sister and I were in the class with her. You know, we all went to U of H together, and now they finished their PhD, and now they call me ABD, all but dissertation, because I didn't finish that part of it. But what I'm saying to you is that I know the power of expectation.
Yeah.
And I know when you put your 10,000 hours in any space, you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
At whatever it is.
That's
And you know, you have children, brother DJ?
I have 3 daughters.
Well, you know, wherever they put their 10,000 hours is where their success is going to be.
Yes.
Right? And so that's every child. You have to refocus them and recognize, and they just use that 10,000 as saying a emphasis. Where you place your emphasis. You're not excellent at being a firefighter and being on the back of that ambulance truck because you put 5 hours of work in. You got 10,000 plus hours in the field,
Sure.
right? So when you go out there with a rookie, you can say, hold on, son, let me show you what to do now. You might want to take a break, step back. You don't have to do that. Apply that differently this time. Why? Because you got 10,000 hours. But that's mentoring at the same time. And that's the only thing going wrong today with our young people that are coming through the colleges and the universities with all this knowledge. They don't want to be mentored. They want to lead. They want to lead at 24. They want to be the chief of the fire department, and they got there 2 weeks ago in the state. They're already looking for a promotion.
I've seen it.
And so we don't want to be mentored. And so let me share this with you and your listeners. I know we've been going longer, and you realize we could really have we could just shut it down and talk all night. There are people out there that would want to say that it is a negative for Lawrence Allen to follow his mother. He doesn't deserve to go to Austin because his mother was there. That's not why my mother has endorsed my candidacy. She's endorsed my candidacy because I'm prepared to go, because I'm qualified to go, because she knows what I will do when I get there, and that is never turn my back on the community that I represent, because she was there since the day I was born, and she has helped to shape me that way. And I will be the only person there that has to say, I'm carrying my mother's legacy. And that means I'm not about to let it down. I got to take it to the next level. So that's why we have to see this race as a system of responsibility. She's handing me responsibility, not a toy. I want you to be responsible when it comes to the vote, and always vote on the side of the people. So people ask me, what's your agenda? And I always say to them, I can't have an agenda until I get the agenda from the people. And that's why people don't participate, because you elect people who just leave you and never ask you what it is that you wanted. So I'm saying to you, my agenda has to be given to me by my community. That means I have to open up first with town hall meetings, understanding how we're setting our agenda for what bills we'd like to file. We would like to file going forward. And then help me in creating systems through our high schools where children are tracking those bills and watching Mr. Allen represent their community, because we are disengaged from our elected officials because they don't have our agenda. They're just doing their own bidding.
Yeah. Well, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about District 131 and what is it? I mean, where's District 1, the lines of District 131?
Okay, if you are very familiar with Houston, let's get on the Beltway. All right, let's just get on the Beltway, and I'm going to go all the way down on the Pasadena side, which is called Black Hawk Road. Okay. Black Hawk Road on that side, El Franco Lee Park on that end, right? And so that's the far east side of the district. And let's come up the Beltway, and as we come up the Beltway, now we are at Scott Street. We're over there by Tom Bass Park. And I'm going 2 and 3 miles on both sides of the Beltway. Now I'm in Harlem Clark. I'm at Post Oak as I travel down, right? I just went over 288. I'm over in Harlem Clark, 2 or 3 miles on both sides. And now I'm all the way up to Mickey's Cafe at 59, right? And so 2 or 3 miles on both sides of the Beltway. And I'm going to take it up to Bissonnette. Now I'm in what they call over by the Chinese Community Center, right before you get to Bel Air. Now that's not a straight line shot, but that tells you about how far the district travels, about 10 miles, all the way from Pasadena, all the way up to A-Leaf, right? 2 to 3 miles generally on each side of the Beltway makes up House District 131.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
For our listeners, could you explain to them when is the early voting and election day?
Yes, sir. Early voting will start February the 17th. Okay, February the 17th, and it will run through February the 27th of the month. Election day is March 3rd. And so that's the day we intend to conclude the primary, but this is so that you can select your Democratic candidate for the general election in November. So you'll be voting either in the Republican primary or the Democrat primary. You have to make a choice this time.
Awesome. Well, let me say this, the caveat. Mama knows best in every situation. You know, and I'm sure if you wasn't qualified, Lawrence Allen, she would recommend you. We had a wonderful conversation, wonderful visit about 3 or 4 months ago, and she was very delightful. So I think you'll do well. If you're anything like Dr. Allen, I think you do real, real well. And hope all of you go out and support Lawrence Allen. What was those? It was early election, February 17th, right?
Early voting, February the 17th through the 27th.
Yeah. And so let's go to the polls, y'all, and get behind. I mean, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Let's make an effort to make a difference. And I think it's important. And so for all your service, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lawrence Allen, for all you doing and have done and going to do for the community.
And if I conclude with this, Brother DJ Poppa C, when you talk about Carter G. Woodson and the establishment of Black History Week, it is clear to always state that he established Negro History Week. Because sometimes that language still stings that we were referred to as Negroes.
Yeah.
And so African American, Black, those are soft terms today.
Yeah.
You can imagine at that time that Carter G. Woodson and his colleagues were referred to as Negroes. And so he even spoke that out of his mouth as a decorative term for who we were. And so if we could at least study the history of the Negro, right? And so it evolved today to realize that it's more palatable, if you would, to say African American. Yeah. But the thought process of those around us is the history of the Negro. And most people don't want to study the history of the Negro.
Well, I do believe if we did, it will make a difference in our lives, especially our young folk, man. But all we can do is, keep having a conversation about it. People like yourself keep making a difference, promoting to higher office, to have a seat at the table to make a difference and have a voice in the community.
Well, I thank you, sir, for what you're doing. Again, thank you for the service that you provided. But it's shows like this and the opportunity to continue to enlighten your audience that will make a difference. When we close our mouth, it's time to die. When we stop speaking out, it's time to die. When we stop educating, you start the process of death. So I thank you for your courage, your bravery, because you also receive criticism for being outspoken, to be thoughtful, and to be in this space. People think it's just that it's fun, but you also get criticized. You also get threatened because you're raising your voice.
They have no idea about my inbox sometimes.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I just nationwide. And at the end of the night, sometimes my inbox isn't always pleasant. I just laugh about it, ignore it, and glad that some of my political posts or whatever picking up steam. I call it all joy.
That's why I said to you, it's not long time ago. It's the fight we're having right now.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you for being a part of this army.
Thank you. And
thank you, sir.
Thank you for taking time out your Monday night to join the show and have a voice.
Thank you, sir.
And let me say, like I told Christian Menifee, now when you win, not if, when you win, please come back on the show for a brief second to say hello.
No, sir. When I win, we'll take an hour. We're gonna really get to work.
And I'm going to hold you to that.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Lonzo, I appreciate you, man. Thank
Love
you.
you, brother.
All
God
right.
bless you and take care of yourself, man. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
And that was a candidate for District 131, y'all. And his mom is Dr. Elma Allen. She was on the show months ago, and she was just as delightful, just as fun, and he had a lot to say. But let me say it again. What's up, DJ Lil Charles? I'm my cousin Deborah, Lionel, Tony Parker. Thank y'all for joining the show. Let me say, it is important to have a voice, and it doesn't matter. It's your personal business who you vote for. But just get involved. I mean, if we look at our community today, every time you turn the TV on, I watch the news every day because I'm addicted to the news, and I read news every day, and I always see a lot of negative stuff. And I've been on the ambulance since 1987. I have. I was working for private service until I, worked at the fire department and still working for the county. And I see negative stuff all the time, and with the shootings and violence. I mean, it's terrible when I get in the back of an ambulance, and it's no brainer in my brain to know what to do with somebody who's been shot in the stomach or somebody who's been cut in the neck or trauma. I'm not gonna bore you with my stories, but over my years, I've seen it. Sometimes with the young folk, I just shake my head and say, why? But because we're not getting involved, nobody cares, nobody want to have a conversation. But nevertheless, it's time to move on. Hey, cousin Tricia Ward on the show. Our next guest we had on last week, but we had a little difficulties with our audio, and so as you can tell, we fixed it. So I promised her I would bring it back because she had something to say. When I read about this next guest, I was sitting at the fire station again, going on social media, and I came across a story about her. And she had, it was an hour-long segment. She had a whole lot to say. We're gonna squeeze an hour long in about 30 minutes, but it was, I just, to myself, I said, this is a story she needs to share with a lot of people. So please help me welcome historian Miss Molly Stevenson Jr. Good evening, Miss Molly.
Good evening, and thank you for having me as a guest. It's Molly Taylor Stevenson Jr.
Yes, Molly Taylor Stevenson Jr.
Scott.
Scott.
Kind of a long name.
Well, thank you for taking time out your Monday night to come back to the show so we can explore Molly Taylor Stevenson Scott again. So thank you and welcome to the show.
Appreciate it so very much.
So as we talked about last week, and you was telling me about the history of Reed and the history of the land, and one thing caught my eye. You were one of the legendary pioneers of Black women to me when I read your story, and being involved in the country culture. It's big, and one of the pioneers to keep that culture alive. Yeah, and people don't know your history go deep, Stevens. It goes real deep. But like I said before, it's your story to tell. So we're gonna let you tell about some of it. And whichever angle you decide to go, we're gonna listen.
Okay. Again, I appreciate the airtime and the connection with Texas Southern University. I actually majored in business.
Okay.
Here at Texas Southern.
Okay.
And for my family heritage, it's very fortunate in that my parents, Lawrence Allen was speaking of his mom, and my mother was Molly Taylor Stevenson Sr.
Okay.
And regret not asking mother why was I named after her, because I have 3 other sisters, and well, for some reason she chose me, the youngest daughter, to have her name. So we were raised, I say we, my other siblings and I, who were, let's see, Barbara Marshall, Sandra Stevenson Grigsby, Bente Stevenson Choice, my brothers Benjamin Stevenson and Major Stevenson are all deceased. So I'm the last of my generation to live. Yeah. My great grandparents were E.R. and Ann Taylor. And she was purchased as a slave, or some say a captive, by very generous Caucasians or white folks in the United States, white folks. And they left the property to the mulatto children. For the younger generation, if they don't understand what mulatto is, they're light-skinned folks. And from E.R. and Nantel, there were 6 children. Pinky, Nettie, Sam, Bert, Major, and Will. But from that 6, it was only 3 that was mother. Again, Molly Taylor Stevenson Sr. and 2 cousins, Howard Williams and Edward Williams. And they chose not to remain on the property, but mother did. So she was the glue and the grits of the family. And as her aunts and uncles, that 6 were no longer living, that left a lot of responsibility to mother and my father, Benjamin Stevenson. And that's where the name Taylor Stevenson came from. Taylor was mother's maiden name. Stevenson was my dad.
Yeah.
And they were very generous people. Because of the generation, we didn't have neighbors. So the animals were our friends, the horses. My brothers and I, Benjamin Stevenson, were broken in with donkeys, because donkeys are very docile, very calm, much calmer than horses. That was Lolita and Pepita, donkeys. And mother and daddy extended the arms of the ranch to black kids, because you talk about segregation of our generations, the late 40s, early 50s, for children to come and visit, or we would go. It seemed like a long ways out on Alameda near.
Now, was this in Houston?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Harris County. Yeah, it was.
Now, this is the same land that you have right now in the same area?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mother and daddy deeded property for the 6 of us to come back home, which we did. And had homes on the premises. I continue to live there. Again, my other siblings are deceased, but they had homes there also. Going into town to us was like going past Old Spanish Trail or OST.
Yeah.
And for our friends to come and visit, that was like a long ways out. Those 2 things that they would do. That would be to bring a little lunch, which mother did even always had food. They would bring a little lunch and go to the restroom, because you couldn't stop or go anywhere because of segregation.
Right.
And so mother and daddy made sure that we would interact with other children. Some of our friends still remain in contact with. One that was very poised and gracious. The other was hyperactive, couldn't be still, turning flips, could outrun everybody. And the brother would pretend that he was playing an instrument. And those 3 were the Allens. That was Debbie Allen, the dancer, choreography, Felicia Richard, and Tex Allen.
So you were kin to Debbie Allen?
No, not related, but friends.
Friends, okay.
And their mom as mother and daddy, Vivian Ayers Allen, was years ahead of her time and exposed the three children, Debbie, Tex, and Felicia, to various phases of the arts. And we were, little country children. We would play and run, and it's unfortunate nowadays that the children are on the computers doing something else where there's lack of activity, and that's where the kids are having problems in learning, being overweight, because they aren't as active as we were in our generation. I'm 80 years old.
Yeah.
And the children nowadays is unfortunate, the lack of what would you call it? I guess communication among one another. Just to talk, sit and talk. They're not doing it. And we were just very fortunate, very lucky. And there was a book written about us, was called The Lucky Children. That was written by Dr. Elnita Stewart.
Yeah.
And it wasn't being lucky to us. We didn't know any different. It was just the lifestyle that we had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me add this real quick, Molly. For those of y'all don't know Miss Molly Stevens. Molly Stevens is so legendary in the cowboy history. Every year at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, they have a little segment. We used to have a segment for her and Mama Sugar.
Oh,
they
yeah.
used to section off. They would have the Buffalo Soldiers over there, like they were standing guard with them over there. But every year, I don't know if they still do it, but over years, they would dedicate a section outside. And people would come up and have a conversation with y'all, and y'all would like be inside the barriers and all that. But Miss Stevenson, she's her lineages go way back, and she's like I said before, she has a big stake in, a big contributor to the history of the black cowgirl and the black cowboy. In case y'all wondering, why she's on the show, she's a big staple in Texas. As a matter of fact, where she lives, I want to say where she lives. She's one of the few people that still own land in that section of Houston. And that's how big her name is and how big she is. But she's seen a lot. Now, tell me, Ms. Stevenson, how did growing up in the segregation and knowing the history of your grandparents being sold and being purchased, how did it affect you and your motivation in life to be so much better?
That's a very interesting comment that you made. Ann Taylor, my great grandmother, is actually buried on an area there, and having the connection with the prior history, it's a lot of pride, and what she had to go through, and mother as well, in maintaining the land, and daddy was very instrumental in assisting mother, not just raising us, but raising so many other children. And you had mentioned the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, which is the largest rodeo in the world that's about to start. We had an area where we would have the traveling exhibit that we would go to special events, schools, churches, and so forth. And we would very much like to be a part of that this year. We haven't heard back from them.
Yeah.
And not just for Black Heritage Day, but for that to be continued.
Yeah.
And having the association with the public so close. You had mentioned Mama Sugar. This is a picture of Mama Sugar in her funeral program. And I see where you were one of the honorary pallbearers.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
And of course, we extend the sympathies to her family. Harold Cash, whose father was funeralized this past Saturday, which some of us attended. I went with Nessa and Bev. Well, you know Nessa and Bev. Some of
Yeah.
my sugar's daughters. It was very well attended. And just maintaining that history and being tangible, people can come and see Blacks that are involved in the Western heritage and other ladies that I admired. So, Miss Catherine Jackson down in Macbeth,
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah. The Jackson, they were big in the rodeo business down in
Oh, yeah.
Macbeth.
Oh, yes,
That's
indeed.
actually our on our trail ride, big ride. That's our first stop when we leave the campsite that weekend down in Macbeth
Okay.
on,
Now
on the
you,
Jackson's place.
oh, yeah, the RV ranch. Now
RV Ranch, and it used to be when we back then we were riding, we get into camp. That same night they would have a rodeo or have a roping at night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they had the little club
Oh,
that
yeah.
and it'd be so packed you couldn't get in there after the rodeo. It was a whole
Lot
bunch
of
of fun.
fun. Lot
Yeah,
of fun.
but I think it's big, and I get so excited about it even when I've seen you. And I see you all, you and Mama Sugar at the rodeo. How the history that you have and the knowledge that you have, I think if a lot of the uh, young folk know more about Molly Stevens and the things and the sacrifices that you made to keep the tradition alive that's going, and you're still big because if anybody knows the Stevensons, and I can tell you what, it's your nephew, right?
Ben Stevenson,
Ben Stevenson. Ben is I don't think I've never seen Ben without a cowboy hat and boots on. Ever.
you know, the mustache and so
And a
forth.
mustache, like wide earth, come way down here.
Oh, yeah.
And the cowboy culture. Now let me tell you, I've been with Southwestern Trail Riders for about 21 years.
Okay.
And the first time that I had a little taste of that cowboy lifestyle, it became an addiction. And the reason I like it, I still go out to the barn, still go feed my horses, still clean my stalls out, and it's a piece that you don't get anywhere in the city. And the reason I like it, I always say it's kind of hard to be uppity when you got poop on your boots. Maybe you keep you grounded, but I think that your story and your history and your legacy it needs to be preserved. It needs to be heard, and I really appreciate the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for giving you and Mama Sugar that opportunity for folks to meet and see you all because it's big, and today's cowboy, today's cowgirl. I mean, the culture's changed so much, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. People like yourself just don't exist anymore, and it's a shame.
Yeah, there have been a lot of changes in rodeoing, and I think often of those that came before. Um, um, the Murtis Dykeman, one of the legendary Cowboys, bull rider, and so forth. The racism that they went through, it was horrendous.
And how, you know what? Let me cut you off for a second. But those who don't know Murtis Dykeman was the first Black bull rider in the Astrodome. And they treated him so bad. I don't care how well he rode, they would mark him down. So what he did to show up all the white guys back in the day, when they were still using the N-word, he rode the bull backwards and rode it past 8 seconds.
Remarkable.
Still wouldn't give him first place.
Remarkable.
And Miss Molly Stevenson lived in that era. She's seen that era.
Oh, yeah.
And survived.
And Murtis Dykeman Sr. inspired my nephew, Ben Stevenson the third, became a bull rider. And he rode this almost a killer bull whose name was Bodacious.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the 8 seconds, that's the length of time that the Cowboys remain on the bull in order to score.
Yeah.
And once Ben saw Murder's Ride, again, this was in the Dome, this was in the 60s, he wanted to grow up and become a bull rider, which he did. And having ridden Bodacious, Ben still has a scar on his cheek from where he was kicked by Bodacious, not the horns, but he was kicked. And we have our American Cowboy Museum that preserves the Western heritage of Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, and women.
And let me ask you this: are you the first female cowgirl to go into that Black History Museum, the Cowboy Museum?
Yes, that is with Larry Callis.
Yeah.
The Black Cowboy Museum. It was myself and Cynthia. That's the first time I met her. Cynthia, I've forgotten her last name. Excuse me, please, for not remembering her last name. Who was still is a announcer, and we were the first women to be on it. Now, also, Mother and I, Molly Taylor Stevenson Sr., were the first living African Americans inducted into the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame in Fort Worth. This was in 2001. We were recently honored, let's see, 2023 at the Texas Trail of Fame. That's in Fort Worth again. It's a cowboy town where they drive the Longhorns down the street.
Yeah.
And our names in concrete, and they will remain there forever.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and let's see, what else are we? Oh yeah, the Multicultural Museum in Fort Worth, and I was also honored at the huge museum in Oklahoma City.
Oh, Muggy?
No, not there. This is a Western Heritage Museum.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you mentioned Oak Muggy. That's one of I think the oldest African American rodeo in the United States. Is every August, or it had been every August.
Yeah, Mama Sugar would tell me they would charter a bus, big Greyhound bus, and they would fill that bus up. And when they got to town, everybody in Oklahoma knew Texas was in town. The party began.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about a bus. When I was honored in Fort Worth, Mother and I both, the Texas Trail of Fame. My church members came by bus. That's Hiram Clark Missionary Baptist Church. Bishop Wyman J. Webster is our leader there. So we were very honored to have that experience of our church coming, supporting us. And in the halls of fame, well, Mother and I didn't know, we were the first living African Americans recognized. We thought, we were just there for the history, but it was a lot of business. I mean, the other honorees had invited Western wear designers, folks that had written books on various areas of the Western heritage. So it was a lot to have learned doing that. And I try to go back as often as I can. And Mother's deceased, she died in 2003, about a year and a half after we were honored. So that was quite an experience to have witnessed that. And it's, I think, close to maybe 400 ladies now. Others were like Dale Evans, Annie Oakley. You heard of Reed McIntyre, her mom. They were recognized a few years ago.
Annie Oakley?
Annie Oakley, yes.
Okay, all right. Now, they have a Texas Cowboy Museum, I think, somewhere on Alameda. Is that right?
American Cowboy Museum.
American Cowboy Museum.
That's us, yes.
Yeah.
We recognize the multicultural of others as well, not just African Americans, but others as well.
Yeah. Well, people that I guess in Houston and Texas, I mean, it's kind of hard to if you like rodeo, if you like cowboy lifestyle, every weekend here, there's a rodeo somewhere close.
Oh, yes,
or
indeed.
trail ride somewhere close to horses. And the reason that Miss Molly speak about the lifestyle and the culture of the black cowboy and black cowgirl, because it was big and it was a way of life. And in a sense, because of the way things were back then with the segregation, all that, it's just a way of life, and way for black folk to come together and have camaraderie. And I spoke earlier about the show about how the culture when I started trail riding, it was respectable. Long sleeve shirts, blue jeans, cowboy hat,
Yeah.
boots
Boots.
on.
Oh,
And if you go to a trail ride these days, the young folk has took that culture and flushed it. And at the same time, it's not as enjoyable with the music and with the camaraderie. It's totally, totally different than when back when um, you were a big part of it. And it's a sad reality.
oh, it's definitely changed. It has actually become dangerous. Um, Several people have died recently, uh, either
Yeah,
associated
before the show,
with
I spoke about Lady D. Lady D, she's one of the first black female cowboy
this.
country DJs on the scene. We mentioned on at the radio station Saturday and gave her condolences. We actually talked to her. Her grandson was killed at an event, uh, I think Saturday before last.
Mm, so unfortunate.
Yeah,
It is. And um, at the time when my husband and I met, Elisha Scott Jr. was actually on the trail ride for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. He rode with Macbeth Trail Riders Southwestern. Fred Gray was the founder of it.
yeah,
And I was with Diamond
okay,
named after the Diamond Rodeo Arena that was on, well, was South Main then.
yeah,
And that's where many of the black cowboys started out because of segregation. They couldn't ride anywhere else. So you had children that would come and learn how to ride and just have fun, and the Hightowers, Ted Hightower, his family,
yeah,
Donna Hightower, his deceased wife, was the first African American lady to ride barrels in
yeah.
the Astrodome. When I say ride barrels, is where the ladies
Barrel
ride
race. Yeah,
barrel
yeah,
racing, the
yeah.
3 barrels in the quickest time wins.
Hmm.
And she always had Ted kept on fine horses and fine clothes, attractive lady.
Yeah.
And Mama Sophie down in
Sergeant, Texas.
Sergeant, Cedar Lane, Texas, where my
Yeah,
husband and
yeah.
I met.
When I first started riding with Southwestern, I still ride with Southwestern. That's where we used to camp out.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you how nice it was. On that weekend, we started camping out for the week long ride. If it was a good day like it was today,
Oh, beautiful.
I'm telling you, it wouldn't be a soul in Houston, Texas, because that property down there was full of people. And I'm telling you, the first time I started trail riding down there, we was with Southwestern, we down in Sergeant. I brought my cousin down. He came down to hang out with me just to be a part of culture. Um, we left my camper probably about 3 o'clock. We got back to my camper about 6 o'clock. But between then, we stopped at about 10 campers, and everybody, everywhere you stopped, they wanted to feed you, and we ate. And so when I got back to my camper, I looked like I was 10 months pregnant. He did too. But
Good food.
that was the old days, I think it used to be.
Yeah.
And the culture has changed drastically, unfortunately.
It has, and it's sad to see. And a trail ride I went to recently, I was shocked. I really was. The number of people, it had to be maybe 1,500 people Could have been more. That's just what was in view. But how the young ladies were dressed, uh, the dancing they were doing was not respectable at all. Um, Loud music, and I had really wanted to, just kind of get out, walk around. I never got out the truck. I said, "Take me home. I'm ready to go." I felt that uncomfortable, that threatened with danger. And young folks, I saw, again, I'm 80. I saw less than 20 senior citizens there. It was the younger ones. And I don't want to criticize them, but something has got to be done. It really has. I know in many areas they have been banned in not going to certain neighborhoods because of either the loud music, the trash that's left, and very unbecoming. Oh, but again, with our traveling exhibit that we do in going to schools, special events, we enjoy that because you're closer to the people and we can accommodate more in going there. And the callback number is the 713. Oh, Lord, I have so many phones. It's terrible. 713, come on. This is my great niece, 435 9299.
Yeah.
This is one of the phones that I have, and my girlfriend, Gail Hogerbrooks, has this attached like a necklace. Because after Scott, my husband, died, I kept losing the phones, couldn't remember the numbers. So this goes
Now,
around.
are you still making appearances there at the Houston Live Action Rodeo like you were?
Again, we have not been invited back.
You haven't been invited back?
I leave that on
Oh,
them.
wow. Okay.
On them.
Because I wanted to give the audience an opportunity to visit with you and talk with you. But I think you've written a couple of books, is that right?
In the process now, I'm glad you mentioned that, of doing a children's book on how I was raised, my favorite animals, like Hildegard, my first horse. That was a paint. That was my friend. That was my buddy there, where I could just ride and be at peace. I haven't written books yet, but that's one that I'm planning on doing. And it's a true story. I mean, it's nothing made up. And some of the various animals I've raised. Little Hard Times, that was a Longhorn who was given to us by Angie Caldwell, Unicorn Ranch. We met on the Speakers Committee. My favorite were the Watusi cattle.
Yeah.
They are known for their massive
Big old horns.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's
Yeah.
a breed that originates from Africa.
Yeah.
Whole nother spirit, I guess, is within them, innate. They would walk one behind the other. And I've always liked pretty animals. And in seeing these, I told my husband, I said, "Oh, I really want some of those cattle." We had black Brangus and Brahma cattle, but these were a very special breed. I no longer have them, and I really miss not having them. But it was a lot of upkeep involved with them, and you had to be careful around them. They could be very calm, then all of a sudden they'll just charge.
Yeah.
And so the animals are my friends, our friends, because we were around them more so than people. And there's a bond with animals that you have, be it dogs or cats. And they say unconditional love. In many cases, the animals are happier to see you than people. I won't even go into relatives, but the animals will greet you. They're happy to see you and very calming. And so again, the phone number is 713-435-9299. Or you could Google my name, Molly Taylor Stevenson Jr., for further information. And
Well, Miss Molly, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you came back and we got our audio fixed. You know, we can talk for an hour. Actually, I want to bring you back and just give you a whole segment on the show because when I sit there and looked at listened to you about an hour at the station, I was so intrigued, and I wanted to share your story with the nation
yeah. And
because history is precious, and we are here, a lot of the young folk, a lot of those cowboys and cowgirls, because of people like yourself has sacrificed and laid a foundation. And so we thank you for that and preserving history.
and for the next generation, I've mentioned one of my nephews, um, Ben Stevenson,
Yeah,
the third, has a trucking business, truck driver. Another Major Stevenson has a Taylor Stevenson Ranch meat company
yeah,
where it's processed meat, be it beef, pork, lamb, and chicken.
okay,
And they can deliver either individually or corporations. And there's a niece, Beignet Stevenson, and her son
okay.
that have a landscaping business. And my great niece, Allison Spiller, who's here with me, very supportive and knows into a lot about technology. But when she comes to visit, it's to my closet and then to me. Yeah, but she's a sweetheart. She
Yeah.
is. And
Well,
others too.
you are definitely a jewel and precious, and I really appreciate you. And I would love to have someone has a meat store. You make sure the meat company you give him my
Yeah,
number so he can come on the show and you
I
know
certainly
so we
will.
can promote black business. So we're glad to have him. But once again, thank you for taking time out your Monday and coming following up with the program because
Yes.
our audio wasn't great last week, but you came back and it was
Oh,
wonderful to hear
yeah.
from you and it was wonderful hearing you share your story, and I really appreciate it.
And in closing, also, I've heard about your barbecue. I really want to sample it.
I
All of
promise
it.
you. I last week I said 2 weeks, so in a whole in 1 week, I think I want to make sure that I give you a little of this, a little of that, a
Yeah.
whole lot of other stuff.
Good, good.
And I promise you, you'll be the first person I call when I
Please
get
do.
out the pit and I cut it up.
And I thank you again for having me as a guest, and of course, the
Yes,
Association
ma'am.
of Southern University.
And I know the pleasure's all mine. You are, I couldn't think of a better person to have on Black History Month than to have Miss Molly Scott Stevenson Taylor Jr. I think I messed it all up, but you know them.
Molly Taylor Stevenson.
Molly Taylor,
Jr.
yes, yes,
A
yes.
little long.
It's been a pleasure, and the audience has gotten a kick out of your story. But I had a kick out of seeing you the time I seen you at the rodeo, and your mom sugar over there, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all y'all section off, and folk over there taking pictures with you and standing beside you, and
Yeah.
it's history, preserved history, and it's
Also,
appreciated history.
guest of the Black Heritage Committee. I'd
Yeah.
like to recognize them also. And again, we would certainly want to come back and have a display.
Oh yeah, when you come back, I want you to come back. Matter of fact, I'm bringing you back in March during rodeo season. When you come back, and you can hopefully have a bigger picture, you can show all some of your displays and all.
Okay, I look forward to it. With PK McCary is my technician for
Yeah, you
social.
tell Miss PK I appreciate her communicating with me and making sure we're all connected. and she was all on top of it, calling me and making sure everything was good. And I really appreciate that. She
Oh,
made it easy.
you two are very accessible in calling and answering. I was very pleased to know that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thank you
All right,
again.
Miss Molly. Well, you have a good night, and once again, thank you for joining our Blues and Southern Soul show, coming on the show, and hopefully this won't be the last time.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Hmm. Be safe.
All right, y'all. That was Miss Molly Stevenson. You get an opportunity. I was on social media, and I do a lot of reading at the station in the morning time because I don't feel like getting up, checking the fire truck off or checking the ambulance off. So I sit there and I'll read, just procrastinate till I get motivated to go outside. And when you start doing all the checkoffs, take like an hour to do all the checkout. You got to check out the ambulance, all the equipment, and the fire truck, and all the equipment. So we get there, we all just long faced and trying to wake up. And so I just started reading. Bree, thank you, Bree. I'm gonna need some hanging out. Bree, appreciate it. Diane Williams, Betty Boo. Miss Krista Thomas, hey Miss Krista Thomas, I want you on my show. You know I've been chasing you for a while. But yeah, I sit there and I read, and I ran across her story, and I started reading her story for about an hour. Yeah, Bree, she was good. I seen a post about the high towers rescuing you out of the car too. I seen that comment. I know the high towers as well. But yeah, I read her story. I was sitting in the office at the station and I was very interested. I called her that morning. I waited a couple hours and called her and asked her would she come on the show and share some of it. And she only shared a piece of it, but she has a lot of history and she is living history. So I appreciate all y'all appreciating her. To me, it's the cowboy culture for me is big, even though it's not like it was. I still look forward to our trail ride. Y'all know it's 2 weeks after Valentine, we got the Valentine Big Ride starts. And so when I was trail riding, or still trail riding, when trail ride, Big Ride used to start, I used to get excited because back then I was working like 3 jobs, working Houston Fire Department, Southeast Fire Department, I was working with Fresno Fire Department, and then I was teaching at the plant. So that week, no, I wasn't teaching at the plant. I was working with the Astros. So that week I would take off from all my jobs and go hang out at the trail ride. We would dance, ride our horses for a whole week and have a good time. And I still do it. The culture's changed a little bit, but the difference between the big ride and regular trail rides, big ride you have rules and regulations. And so young folk they don't want to do the big ride because you have to mind your business. If you don't, they'll kick you out and you ain't coming back. So nevertheless, I was supposed to have Don Busy on the show. Don Busy sent me a message saying she was broke down on the side of the road and she wasn't happy. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm praying for you. And she said that if she could make it, she let me know, but I don't think she's going to make it because her time slot was 8 o'clock. So until if she had checked in, I would have, cut Miss Molly short. But since she didn't, I let Miss Molly go a little bit longer. So, nevertheless, happy Black History Month, y'all. I mean, if you can, I want y'all to read up on the story that I read. I didn't know. I just found out last week. I read a story about Carter G. Woodson. A lot of black folks say that, well, the white man only gave us the shortest day of the month. Well, that wasn't the case. Carter G. Woodson started Negro Week in February, and Gerald Ford heard about it, and he said, "Well, uh, let's give him a month." It wasn't the white man that said to pick February; it was a black man who picked February. He picked a week, and I think it was because of what he's celebrating. I want to say one of the president's birthday he decided to do it in. And so when I read the story, and I read a whole 30 minutes worth of the story. So y'all get an opportunity. Y'all Google Carter G. Woodson. And he started Black Negro Week. And the white man said, no, let's just give it a month. So for years, I would say, well, the white man gave us Black History Month, the shortest month of the year. No, it wasn't the case. Yeah, comedians said, yeah, people said, but that's not true. It was a black man who started a week, and the white man who said, let's give you a month. So, yeah. So y'all read up on it and educate yourselves, and the more education you have, the less ignorance we have. Yeah, Bree. Yeah, Bree. Bree, you did a good job at that pageant that you almost won. So it looked very, that's my niche, y'all. It looked very pretty. Yeah, Carter G. Woodson. Yeah. Congratulations. I think you won first place, even though you gave it to the other young lady the other night. You look beautiful. Anyway, y'all, my other guest sent me a message saying he couldn't connect. So I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna have to call him and find out probably because his block was 8:30. He hadn't checked in yet. So let me get a little music on, and I might make a phone call to see what the problem is with him. And once again, thank y'all for being patient and hanging out with me, Poppa C, on Blues and Southern Soul show. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah, Bree, you read that, Bree. You read that, and you tell your students and kids you teach, you educate them and let them know this is the truth and reality. Y'all stand by, get right back with you.
What about my love? See you have forgotten her. I do believe there's something in love somewhere.
Got another email I sent it to?
What about the feeling? Oh, they need anything at all. You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see.
Hold on a second.
What about the game like
E-R-R.
What about the love you made so sweet? Are you sure you wanna go?
E-R-I-N.Links@gmail.
I know that you're gonna change your mind. You Oh, baby, you change your mind. I've been wondering, baby. Oh, wondering if you change your mind. I've been wondering. I've been hoping, baby. You know I have. Hoping you to change your mind. I've been praying, baby. Yeah, praying that you change your mind.
Yeah. Monday Night Blues and Southern Soul hanging out with me. Poppa C, y'all. Bree said, I'm on that jamming too. Okay, Bree, come on jam with me, y'all. Let me go before I get short of time, man. I gotta get this young man out of time because he was nice enough to come back the second week, man, because I couldn't get my audio right. So we good tonight. So he gonna come on in. And they go by the name of Mr. Ace.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Poppa C,
Hey,
we
man,
doing it again.
we here one more again, Mr. Beach, man. Welcome to the show, baby.
Man, you jamming tonight, ain't you, Doc?
I'm having a good time, man. Monday nights, man, you don't know, man. It's like my Christmas every Monday. I can't wait till the 7 o'clock hour come around here, man. I get to hang out with my people, man, like Lady Artist, Sister Calloway, my niece in the building, Bree, and tonight I got Mr. Beats in there. I've been listening to your song, I've been jamming it. I ain't been spilling my drink, I've been sipping on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes,
I ate
sir.
cornbread too, earlier.
Oh, yeah. You ate the cornbread?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You supposed to be on the moonshine. We want the ladies to eat the cornbread.
Well, you know, I gotta tell you,
you don't supposed to spill your drink while they eating the cornbread.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I go light on Monday nights, man, because I got to work the next day, baby.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Mr. Beach?
Man, it's a blessing to be here another week. Blessing to be on the show. I'm feeling good, man. Working my single, and I'm just excited, man. Excited about what we have going on with TOC, man.
Well, tell us something about Mr. Beach, man.
Well, Mr. Beach, I am Mr. Beach, which you can follow me on all social media platforms. I am Mr. Beach. Southern Soul singer, Southern Soul host, Southern Soul, whatever the soul Southern got to do with it, I do it, Doc. I've been blessed to sign a record deal with none other than the line dance king himself, Cupid, with the label of TOC Music Group. I have 2 singles under the label, which is Cornbread Fed, and my newly released single, I Ain't Gonna Spill No Drink, as you can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, we working records, man.
They call it alcohol abuse. Don't spill it.
Say it again, Doc.
They call it alcohol abuse, man. Don't spill it.
None at all. I could not spill that.
So, Beach, how did you get hooked up with Cupid, man?
Wow, this a crazy story. I was known for hosting Southern Soul shows, and a partner of mine was like, man, you should do a song for when you come on stage. You should do something, to introduce you, just your song. So long story short, I got in touch with some producers. They sent over the beats, and Cornbread Fed was born. Really, Butch Hartfield, my manager, he reached out to me, man. I was just running ads. I put money into my song. I run ads and I target certain areas, Dallas, Mobile, Alabama, and I just let the song run. And God bless you. Butch hit me up. He was like, yo, I like what you're doing. Cupid has a label, and I think he would like you. So, I thought it was all a game. Everybody on social media is scam now. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let's talk. And flew me out to Dallas, signed a contract with Butch, and it was up from there, man. So, it was all a play thing, but it ended up being something special. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lovely story. I'm talking about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, so all artists out there, what I would say is you gotta invest in yourself. The studio writing songs and getting in behind the mic, that's the easy part. You gotta invest in it. That's why it's called the music business. So I would say invest in your craft, invest in yourself, and that is how I became discovered by TOC Music Group, investing in myself.
Well, you know, I think if you really believe in yourself and you really dedicated to it and you married to it, you're gonna be self-motivated to keep going.
Oh yeah.
You know, I love music, man. I love music. I love Southern soul. I love blues, and so I don't care who send me a song. I don't care who send me a song, man. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna listen to it. If it got flavor, and when I'm at the club, it's gonna get played. If it got flavors on my show, it's gonna get played. You know what I'm saying? But I have a whole lot of local talent here. And I put all their music on a sheet of paper with the BPMs. I say I'm gonna put on a show with just the local talent and blend everything the right way.
Yes, sir. And that's what we need. We need more DJs that's like you, that's not afraid to actually break records. We don't got away from breaking records, you know, and that's what we need in the industry right now. We just need more DJs that's looking for what's next instead of following the trend. When I was a DJ, I wanted to be the guy that played with. They're like, who is that? Where you find that at? I was always in search of what's next, who's next. So I salute you, Poppa. See, we need more DJs that's like that, that's looking for what's next.
Well, mine is twofold because you know I'm at the club I'm at the club Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, so I can't come to the same old thing every week. So I get in here and I go deep in the library, man. Earlier before the show started, I was listening, you know, to your stuff, and I was listening to Fat Daddy and Roy Anthony and Magic One. You know, they got a whole lot of material. Ain't nobody playing.
Yeah.
Omar Cunningham, they got material. Ain't nobody playing.
Omar, bad boy. He got some nice stuff out, man. Omar, bad boy.
Yeah. He teased me once in a while, man. He come on the show, man. When he'll tune in, I said, Omar, I need you on the show. He said, okay. All right. I even inboxed you, man. He said, okay, man, okay, Poppa C, but you know, I understand, you know, they busy, man, you know, right now, small potatoes, and they got, you know, got stuff going on, but you know, eventually they give in. Even Fat Daddy, man, me and him chopped up about 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I haven't had a chance to bump into Omar yet. I have met a lot of the artists in the industry, but I haven't bumped into Omar. Not yet. Yeah. Now, we are Facebook friends, but I haven't gotten the chance to actually touch hands and, you know, network with him. But
well,
it would be hard because he's one of the greatest
down in Natchez, Mississippi about maybe 10 years ago. I did a show down, I DJ down there with Keith Frank. Him opened up down there. Him and Keith Frank and Obar's on the same ticket down there, man. We down there actually doing a trail ride, and I ran into him down there, man. But you know, he still, you know, I like artists, man. When I did a show with Shay Nicole in Victoria, Texas, which is about an hour outside of Houston, and we were doing a sound check before the show, about 3 or 4 hours before the show, and she said she was in there. She said, Poppa C, you think this place is gonna be packed, crowded? And she said, you know what? It don't even matter. She said, if I got 1,000, I'm gonna put on the show.
There you go. Because you never know who you never know who be out there. You don't know who's out there watching and listening.
Yeah.
You're right. You got to do it.
Yeah. So, you know, even when I'm at the club, every day I go to the club, it's like I hit that power button for the first time, man. I want to give everybody my very best.
Yeah.
That's from the room to the tutor, from the way I dress.
No.
Where I
you be clean, Poppa C. You be in there, Poppa C.
With my nails and everything. You feel me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I even comb my hair somewhere. I comb it to the left sometimes. I comb it to the right. Yeah. So and that's consistent, baby. That's consistent. I even put an extra polish in the piece so they don't fall out, you know? Yeah, you know, everything, baby. From the rooter to the tutor.
There you go. You know why you like that? Because you're very passionate about what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same way when I touch the mic and when I'm on stage, it's like this. I treat it like my last time. I'm gonna give it all I got. My energy, I'm gonna give it all. Because first off, you don't know when it is your last time. So
that part.
Yes, sir. So I think you're just very passionate, and you love what you love what you're doing, Papa C.
Yeah, always, man. I just when I'm reading about the show, I get excited about the show, man. I get to meet new artists like yourself, meet artists, been around, man. I get excited because one, you gonna helping my craft because you give me something else I can blend and mix. Or I
Right.
can take your song and hey, I'm finna play this song by Mr. Beats. He was on the show last week, so and so, so
Yeah.
and so. I'm
Yeah.
playing with my chest stuck out. You understand?
Yes, sir. You like it, Papa C? You think I got a little something to work with?
Oh yeah. With both of them right there. I didn't
Man,
beat to I listened to him. I was already on, you know, she emailed it to him, but I was listening to him on the internet, man. And I broke I ain't gonna spill no drink. I broke that last week at the club.
All right.
Yeah. And they vibing to it too. So, you know, that's in rotation now, baby.
Man, thank you, Doc. Thank you. Know that record is truly a blessing. I wasn't expecting. I knew that a new single was coming the first quarter. I knew that something new was coming for me, but I never expected Cupid to reach out to me. Hey, dude, hey, listen, I got this track I want you to listen to, bro. I really think it's you. I want you to listen to it. I wrote it. I want you to do it. And man, when I got that text message, Papa C, I ran to the back, put my earplugs in, and I was like, yo, I think we got some here. That night, I got in my studio. I'm in my studio now. I got in my studio and I emailed them right back because I said, I think we got something special. So that song is really a blessing to me. I got a record with Cupid. I never in my life would think that I have a song with the Lion Dance King. Never thought that in my life. I thought I was gonna be a rapper, a trapper rapper.
But you know what, man? What impressed me about that dude, man? Cuba's big, man. Everybody know the Cuba Shuffle. Every cruise ship in Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny, everybody, Nicki Minaj, everybody know the Cuba Shuffle, right?
Oh yeah.
He came on the show, man. He was so down to earth, man. We chopped it up, man. We actually passed our time, man. He was just a cool dude, man. He was just, he
Let
was
me
that guy.
tell you, that's him all the time from the first day I met him. When I first met him, we had to do an interview before I signed, and that was my first time getting to meet him. And I went back, and my wife was like, so what you think? I said, I'm trying to pick his energy, but he's just so cool. Hell, I just don't know what to think. And every time I meet him, it's the same Cupid. He's the same guy, cool, laid back. He's a great guy. I'm so grateful to be, representing his label. I'm so grateful. So, yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is. But I didn't tease the artist enough, so I gotta stop teasing, man. I gotta do it like this, baby.
Hey!
My man Cupid and Mr. Beach, y'all. He ain't gonna spill his drink.
Yeah!
DJ say no drinks on the floor. But I'm a certified pro. The DJ say no drinks on the floor. Yeah, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna cheat. Oh yes, I'm gonna do it big. But I ain't gonna spill no drinks. I'm gonna shuffle, I'm gonna slide, I'm gonna flex all night. But I ain't gonna spill no drinks. I'm sorry if I get a little crazy. I'm sorry if I get a little loose. Yeah, but you can blame it. Blame it on the liquor. I'm talking
Put the drinks up. Put the drinks up.
I've been rocking in the club for a while now, and I done spent my hard-earned money on this train. So if you think I'm gonna steal, don't disrespect my skills. I promise you can take this to the bank. I'm gonna party, I'm gonna cheat. Yes, I'm gonna do it big, but I ain't gonna steal.
That's right, Brianna. You never know where your life gonna take you. You never know where your life gonna take you, Bree.
All night, but I ain't gonna spill no drinks. Don't tell me what to do. Stay in that DJ Boo. I'ma take care of this flow. I'ma blow me up some more. I don't need no disrespect, but I just got my check. And I feel so high. One hand to the sky.
Hey!
And two things for sure. I ain't finna still don't drop. And when you finish watching me tennis up, you don't have to give me my props. Cause ain't no dance I can't do while I finish my styrofoam cup. So if you feeling real good and you feeling real loud, let me see your cups up. I'm gonna party, I'm gonna cheat. Oh yes, I'm gonna do it big. But I ain't gonna spill no drink. I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna slide, I'm gonna flex all night. But I ain't gonna spill no drink. I ain't gonna
Like that, Poppa C. You know, keep the party live. Party live.
Yeah, that's easy one right there, boss, man.
What you
That's
say
easy one right
now?
there. Keep that ball moving right there, baby. That's an easy one right there, man.
That's one right there.
Yes, sir. And see, you know the good thing about it, baby? I'm at the Blues and Southern Soul Club, man. That's all day, right? That's all night long right there, see?
That's the vibe right there, Doc.
That's the vibe right there, baby.
Watching you vibe to it, that made me feel it even more.
Okay, Kim McCoy.
Kim, what up, sis?
You know what I'm saying? That's fire, fire, fire. She ain't lying.
TLC keep the party live, Kim.
Yes, indeed. So anyway, we're going to tell them about some cornbread, man.
Take it to the country. Take it to the country. Hey!
She can't get up in my bed. If she ain't cornbread fed, she can't get up in my bed.
You can't get in my bed.
Cornbread fed. She can't get up in my bed. If she ain't cornbread fed, she can't get up in my bed.
Mississippi in the building.
And she like a lot of money. That swag only way, cause ain't nothing funny. Say you wanna get with me, cause I act a little silly. She let that thing work. I call her Miss Chippy. She said that the cowboy blues with them Daisy Duke songs. She like them trail riders. She be hitting her phone. She can cook, she can clean, but I love what's in them jeans. Won't you come and shake it for me? Won't you come and shake it for me? Since you're from the country, she's like a lot of money. Well, let that swag only way, cause ain't that funny. Say you wanna get with me, cause I act a little silly. Let that thing work. If she ain't cornbread with it, she can't get up in my bed. If she ain't cornbread fed, she can't get up in my bed. If she ain't cornbread fed, she can't get up in my bed. If she ain't cornbread fed, she can't get up in my bed.
What's up, mama?
Now, ladies, I know you didn't expect this out of me. I was like, why not? Why not do it for my Mississippi, Alabama, deep down in dirty Texas ladies? I want you to get to the flow and rock. Now rock.
Hey!
Now slide, 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 slide. Do the chicken bitch.
You got a dip in this.
Corn, bread, bag. Yeah, heart.
You ain't clocking it, Poppa T.
I'm clocking that T, man. I'm clocking that T.
Hey, listen.
I'm doing the Kim McCoy, man.
Kim. I see my mama. I don't know what my mama doing on here. It's her bedtime.
B, did you write that one?
Did I write that one?
You got that one?
I wrote that one.
That's a nice vibe, man.
Right here, Poppa C. Right here in the studio, Poppa C.
Yeah. That's talent right there.
Yes, I wrote.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I was jamming to it. I know the perfect song. I'm gonna blend both of them. Listen, I broke Spill No Drink last week.
Yes, sir.
You heard it, but I was laughing because I had the perfect song I'm gonna blend that song with at the club, man.
What you thinking? What you thinking, Poppa C?
I got a little Kane Joyce with that song, man. Little weight
Oh,
don't
yeah.
bother me. Because he cornbread fed.
There you go. A little weight don't bother me. Yeah. That's the bad boy right there, King. The Kane. That would be a good, that's about the same BPM. That's a good blend right there.
Yeah.
You're right.
Cornbread fed. Little weight don't bother me, baby.
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
I like that.
The preacher say you'll get on the way home.
What that? Poppa C, who that? Tamara? Am I looking at that Tamara Goldie?
Yeah. That's my wife. She just talking about she might get us some cornbread, man.
There you go. I might have to make some corn. Man, thank you so much, man. That means a lot.
Man, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, one thing about the show is that, you know, one thing I get to promote my folk, man, too.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, everybody started somewhere. Some people right there in the beginning, some people in the middle, some people right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you this story. At one time, I was playing at 3 different clubs, man. I think 4. 2 major clubs in the city. I was playing at the Red Rooster. I was playing at Bottom Line. Bar 1 turned to Bottom Line. I was playing at Bessie's. I was playing at Superstar. So I had to have a bunch of music, man. I had to be different. So I was sitting at my table, man, going through, you know, you click on one Southern Soul song, and it kept saying this song, that song. And
yes, sir.
The dude named King George, man, Too Long.
Can't stay too long.
Show. I said, I listened to the song. I say, man, it's all right. So, but I like to download it. And so the club that I was playing at on Sundays, I played at a club called Bar 1. Bottom Line. I'll play there early, and I go to a club called Bessie's at night. But early, when I get there at 6, it's the same lady to show up. Miss Nona, Miss Deborah, they would sit at the bar. They wanted some blues, man. They wanted Tyrone Davis. She wanted Lil Milton. They wanted Bobby playing all that. And so I say, man, this Too Long song pretty good, man. I'm gonna try it. So I played the song, and a few people off in there, you know, and they was all cafe people at the time. Later on in the evening, the biker people, the age changed. The biker folk come in, and you know, the upbeat party, Southern Soul people come in.
The party began later on. The party began.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. And so I played that song, Too Long. Everybody looked at me like, man, you gonna play some music? You know, and then I played with Mama Don't Stop No Show. They were looking like everybody bobbed their head. So I say, I'm gonna try it again when these bikers come in here. I played it. People just sitting, you know, like they bobbed their head to it, like, yeah, who is that? You know what I'm saying? They wasn't feeling it. I said, well, I guess it ain't really hit, but I like it. I'm gonna play at the cafe tonight. I leave there, I play at the cafe called Bessie's in the Hood. Well, I was from 3rd Ward. And so I played in there, you know. People, you know, they like a lot of blues, but they kind of felt a little bit. Man, about a month later, you couldn't play it enough. You had to play it like 2 or 3 times in the club because You play it, man. Somebody walking in late, talking about, hey man, they put like $2, $5, my $2. Can you play that King George? Now today, everybody hooked on King George, but I'm saying, like, to me, ain't gonna spill no drink is upbeat song. And I played in the club, they were dancing to it. But I said, I like this song, man. I like this song. So, but I was listening to Cornbread Fed. I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna mix that bad boy with Lil Wayne next week.
Yeah, that Cornbread Fed is a nice track. I man, when I wrote it, I wrote the song and I caught pneumonia the night I wrote it.
Yeah.
And I was hospitalized for about close to a week, Poppa C. And every day my wife came to the hospital, I said, baby, I gotta drop this song. This song a hit. This that thing right here. I kept telling, I said, I think I got something with this song. Cause it just wouldn't leave if she ain't cornbread fed, it just wouldn't leave me.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got out that hospital, I went straight to that studio. Wow.
Yeah.
Laid it down. And it went from there. It got me a record deal, dog.
No, you got something like that, baby. I'm a long time DJ.
Yeah.
If I was so I said, man, it's all right. I told guys that it's all right, but no.
Yeah, tell me the truth.
Nah, that's I like the vibe, I like the upbeat, and I was laughing because I said, man, he did make my job easy. I got some more material now. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I thank you so much for supporting me.
Once again, tell the folk where they can find your music, where you at, what you got going on when you come in town.
I'm ready. Whenever, hey, listen, whenever you ready for me, I'm ready. I need to take a flight.
You in Georgia, huh?
I'm in Atlanta. Yes, sir, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. I tell you what, a lot of artists come to the club on Sundays. I used to have 2 artists come through there. And they'll come there and pick up the mic, man, and get busy. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you come to Texas, you have an open invitation because I'm somewhere every weekend. I'm playing somewhere.
Yeah, hey, we'll set it up.
Every weekend I'm playing somewhere, and I got folk at the club. They love music, good music. They love dancing. So you come out from there, you know what I'm saying? You look like you one of them debonair dudes, so you might have to bring your bodyguard with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't responsible for nothing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's set it up. Yeah. Get that Aaron, talk with my publicist. Eva is my booking manager. Let's set it up. Let's set it up. I come through there. And I'm anybody, if you want to follow me on all social media platforms, I am Mr. Beats with a Z, like you're beating on the drum, MRBEATZ instead of an S. I am Mr. Beats. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I'm there. I'm there. Y'all follow me, and we got a lot coming up. I'm excited about what's going on this year with the label, with me, with Kim, with Cupid. I mean, it's crazy right now. TLC. You heard Cupid singer, Giddy Up, 2-step?
I heard that one.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
TLC keep the party live, Poppa C.
Okay. But it don't take long because I'm always surfing in that, man. And I got a lot of DJ buddies, man. I always sending music, man. With this group called Tastemaker DJs, we got a big old worldwide web, man. And everybody always sharing music, man. Always breaking something, man. From Atlanta to Georgia to Louisiana, Kentucky, we got a big old web, man. We say good morning every morning, man. So it's a whole lot of Tastemaker DJs, man.
Oh yeah, well, we got a lot going on over at TOC. I'm very excited, and I'm just like, man, I'm overwhelmed. I'm excited, dog. I see it coming, dog. We all on the move. Kim on the move, Mr. Beats on the move, Cupid on the move, and we just on the go right now. So
make it happen.
But we need people like you. We need all the DJs. Say it again, Poppa C.
So anytime you drop something hot, anytime you want to holler, man, I'm wide open 24/7.
That's love. That's love. I will. Yeah, I got your email, and whatever I have coming out, I'm gonna send it your way. I'm gonna send it your way. Yes, sir.
Hey, look, it's past our time, man, but I appreciate you coming back for a second week, man, and making it right, because I had issues last week, man, but we good, man. We good, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you having me back. And anytime, just send me a DM, send me an email. Hey, come back. I love to talk.
Well, Kim told me she's coming back next month, man. So you got to come on back. The third song you're working on, I'm sure it's going to be the drop. So we got to show it out, man.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Poppa C. Thank you so much, Doc.
All right, Beats, man. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Be blessed, Doc.
Peace. All right, that was Mr. Beats in the building. Mr. Beats was in the building. He said he ain't spilling no drink. And he want a cornbread-fed woman. He ain't mad at him. I'm from the country. But look, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Lady Audrey, don't be talking about my hair, Lady Audrey. Trying to making fun of my hair. I know what you said. I see what you said about my hair, Lady Audrey. You know, I like bragging about my hair. I'm proud of my hair. Hello, Beverly, Marge, Marion. I'm proud of my hair, Lady Audrey. So you don't be talking about my hair now. I'm sensitive when it comes to my hair. But look, y'all, I really appreciate y'all taking time out to hang out. I mean, I corrected my issue from last week and we had a better show. I had to make some adjustments. Y'all know how much work I had put in the studio to try to bring in a good quality sound and good quality picture. And I think eventually it's all come together. But next week, I'm not going to have any music guests. I'm going to have a couple of speakers next week. And y'all look for the flyer. I'm going to be playing music mainly next week. My speakers get off. So I appreciate Sister Calloway's, Lady Audrey, I love you to life. Tamara, appreciate you hanging out. Happy birthday to my granddaughter, Paris, once again. I got to call her. She's going to be mad at me. I forgot to call Paris. I can't keep up with all my kids, maybe dates and birthdays. But anyway, happy Monday, y'all. Y'all be safe. And remember to go to the polls and support Lawrence Allen. Please, I mean, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It's your personal privilege, but just please just make an effort to spread the word about how important it is. But once again, I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. I really, really do, bottom of my heart. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Taking time out your Monday night to make my show that much better because of your presence. That is something to say shoot for the moon, y'all. If you miss it, then amongst the stars. But I say one truth can prevent 1,000 lies. You be good to yourself and someone else. Until next week. I like my curl pattern too, Sister Calloway. Have a good night. Happy Monday.